Good afternoon, I guess we'll call it, because it's a little afternoon. Today will be our maiden voyage of corn. I'm pulling over here to hook up the corn head. I'm on my county soil and water district board, so I had a meeting this morning, so that's why we're not getting started till now, but getting ready to hook on to the 708C corn head, go across the road and see what it is. See if it's drier than what it was when we sampled it here a few weeks ago. I don't know how well I could do this with steering and running the feeder house control up and down and having you guys in my hand, but I guess we'll find out. So if you get spun around, that's me turning the wheel. So don't get seasick on me. Because you gotta be pretty damn precise in these freaking heads. I don't know how well you can see anyhow with the shadows, but it is what it is. How good we are, we're gonna find out. I guess we're pretty good. So we are, head is on. I gotta get out and hook up the PTO, the single point hookup, which I will get out and explain to you. And then I need to get in and do all my adjustments, which I probably won't have you along for. But let me idle her down. These are different than the older ones. A lot of the old stuff used to run off of both sides. This just runs off of one side. See if I can do this somewhat one-handed. Oh, not very well. So right now you're staring at the ground. For whatever reason, that PTO is a lot heavier than the one on the grain head. Single point hookup. You got all these ports here. And then you got all these electrical plugs. That's what's on this end. You can see the electrical ports and the plugs. So you just line them up with those two holes, push them in a little, pull this out, pull your lock down, it locks. That also locks your head on. There's a pin on each side that it puts through. So close that shield back up. I always put the cover that's on the combine back on there, and we are ready to do all of our adjustments. Alright, I went about 100 feet in the field. What corn is in the bin looks clean. Now I've got to get out and go look behind me. See how the cobs look. That's why I left the chopper up. See what kind of job we're doing. It's hard to tell around the outside, but you don't want to go too far before you check them. Those look good. Those look really good. A lot of these look really good. I do see a little bit of corn on the ground. I may open my sieve and chaff her up a little. Some of that's probably header loss because we are dealing with, well, just that short distance it was reading 20%. So it's gonna shell, unfortunately. And as you can see where just knocked my glasses off my head, not paying attention. Where I stop, the ears fall off pretty easy. What I just knocked my glasses off with is, you got this here, you got one in the center, as you can see, and one at the other end. Those feelers basically are your header height control. They run on the ground, and they knock your glasses off when you don't pay attention to them. That's because this single point hookup that I hooked up, this is all your electric and all your hydraulic for the head, and it latches the head. All right, so I'm gonna close the sieve down a little, close the chaffer down a little, go a little ways more and check it some more. All right, correction. I can't get dates right, I can't speak right. I'm going to open them up a little bit more so that the corn falls down through better. Not close, because then I'll have more on the ground. All right, Murphy, this is for you. We're into the corn. Now, I'm on the drought field across from my shop, and I gotta tell you, it's all over the board, but I'm pretty pleasantly surprised so far. I don't know how well you can see it right now, but it's in the 19s. It's running anywhere from the 140s to the 180s in different spots. It depends on, well, now it's 18.6. It depends on whether you're on a gravelly knoll or not. It's pretty clean looking corn. I haven't calibrated the combine yet because I want to get the 24 rows around the outside opened up first. Like right here, the monitor's definitely going down. This gravelly knob, you can see how short the corn is. But I mean, if this field yields 150, then I feel good about the places, you know, away from the farm that got more rain. So we'll see, but like I said, I gotta calibrate it still. All right, I'm taking you along for a yield calibration. I know you can't see it worth a crap, but right now it's telling it's adding up the pounds that are in there. Like we're at 1,100, 1,200. So I'm gonna go down to the road, turn around, come back up. Barb will zero out the cart scale, and I will dump on her and see what the difference is between what she's getting and what I'm getting. I gotta tell you, it's better than what I thought. And I don't think I'm off a lot, but it's always good to do that when you first start. And it's good to have your headlands off before you do it. Get into your actual good rows. Granted, they tell you, you know, you need to get at least 4,000 or 5,000 pounds, and you shouldn't stop and then start again. But obviously I have to turn. We don't live in the Midwest. We don't have too many fields that are, you know, 3/4 of a mile long or a mile long. I do have a few that are 3/4, but this is where I'm at, so I got to do it here. So we'll see how close we are in this calibration. But I'm surprised how dry it is, and I'm happy. And I'm happy so far with the yield. Alright, I got calibrations done. I didn't bother to show you me putting the numbers in because the damn thing looks like it's shaking anyhow, even though it's not. Whatever. Unfortunately, the combine was reading a little higher, so the yield is going to be a hair lower than what I was getting, but we're not talking a lot. It was less than 1%, 0.7%. We did 2 calibrations to be on the safe side. They were both pretty much the same, so I manually enter the numbers that Barb gives me, and then the combine calibrates itself and updates. So she She is over there dumping the second truck, filling the second truck right now, and then we will heat the cart full. So I'm not going to fill all 3 trucks because I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I want to take some hand samples out of the back of the trucks when we unload to make sure my moisture calibration is right here. If it stays where it's been staying, then yes, I definitely will probably just run it into the dryer, cook it for a little bit, and then dump it. So, but she's over there filling the 2 trucks. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty breezy today. So I doubt I'll be doing any drone footage today.
Grabbing some footage of Andy trying to put the camera in the bin to do a time lapse of it filling. There he goes. Hey everybody, first day of corn. Doing our field right across from the house. Trying to grab a little footage of Andy. Already got 2 full trucks. Sure if you guys heard that or not, since I'm standing outside with the wind blowing and I'm near the tractor, so I apologize if my audio stinks.
there. Barb has dumped pretty much the first truck. So I got the load on, fans, burner off, unload off. So we are ready to start filling the dryer for the first time with corn. I leave this bungee cord on because it gets windy and that latch can turn itself. I gotta remember, corn is dry this year. The geese are gonna like me. Ran a little off the side of the cart, filling her, because it flows very fast. So it's gonna be loud, so I'll be yelling. But wet bin auger is turning, so it's filling. You can probably hear the corn going in and see the dust. So it's going in the top up there and it's filling that first chamber. When that one's full, it'll go to that one, and then that one, and then that one, and so on down through. That's that auger that runs along the top that I was telling you about in the last video. So now we sit and wait for it to fill. Once it gets full, if it's testing dry, you know, 18 to 19%, okay, I can stop yelling now, like it was, then I'll probably turn the heat on, let it sit 15-20 minutes, cook it probably 20 minutes, and then start feeding bin number 1. Because then we don't have to screw around with that pipe that I showed you and fill the truck out back. Because if it's that dry, even if there's 18% corn on the bottom of that bin, it'll get dry with all the air that it'll get put on it. Well, I just ran 2 tests through this one. The first one was 16.6, that one was 17. I did my 3 averages on this one, 16.4. 57.5 pound test weight. I guess that means yes, we will definitely be just turning it on, letting it start to dry, and let it run into the bin, because that will dry with air on it with no problem whatsoever. So I have no problem with, come on, set with putting air on that to get that to dry. So that means I need to make a little adjustment in my combine. Turn these off for now, because my combine made that field average 18 point something, which it still might be close because this was just a random sample out of the truck, but I'll take it. So as soon as the dryer gets full, as a matter of fact, let's go out and see how many columns are full now. So it's gonna get loud again. Tell the columns by banging on them. Empty, empty, empty. That one's filling right now. So the first 4 are full. So basically the dryer is about half full. I can open up the wet bin. You want this amperage to run around 15, running around 12, which means I can let the trap door of the wet bin open a little more here. So let the flow. Well, I need 2 hands. Well, that field yielded a little better than I thought, because I got to adjust the moisture control in the combine. That corn's going into the dryer at 16.3%. It's been bouncing around between 16.2 and 16.5. Right now it's over dry at 13.4, but it's trying to speed up. And the temperature is only running between 125 and 130 degrees, because it doesn't need to be hot. So that field was better than I thought it was. That's some dry corn. Is it all gonna be like that? No. When I get away from the home farm to where they got more rain, I think it's gonna be a little higher. But even if it's 2 or 3 points higher, I'll take it.